the Black Sparkle Midge.
Ingredients: 140 denier black thread, Sally Hansen's hard as nails, black flashaboo, and hooks. Well, it's windy and blowing outside. It makes me think of winter. Think of winter, the only trout fishing or any fly fishing I'm going to get done. It's winter trout season in southeast Minnesota. And best way to catch fish is stumble across or find a midge hatch, because it usually brings those guys up this point in time in the year. I'm going to tie the pattern I use, which is called Sparkle Midge, and start with a hook, Mostad hook, 12, 14, 16, 18, depending on the size of the midges hatching. Most of the time I'll tie a little bit bigger than what's going on. Hopefully that'll work for an eager and optimistic trout. Start with 140 denier black thread. Start behind the eye of the hook and put down a pretty good thread base. That'll be the primary body, part of the body. I mean, this is pretty much the midge is the thread. And I will wrap that all the way down to the bend of the hook. Bring the thread back up. Start working on a taper up in the head and thorax area. Put down quite a few layers. Part of the reason why I use a little bit thicker thread. I build some kind of a taper up in this area. Now I'll tie in my other key ingredient, which is black flashaboo. That'll give it the sparkle part of its name. Tie that in on the top, down the back. I could catch a little guy. There we go. Tie that in pretty good. Not too worried about having a lot of even wraps on that. I just want to get it down to the back of the hook. And if I don't get it all covered as far as the spine of the hook goes, I'm okay with that, because ultimately I'm tying it in to be sparkly. So I ended up probably killing most of it anyways as far as wrapping it up anyways. So I'll do a half hitch behind the eye of the hook, a little bit further back than that. And do my wraps. 6, 7, 8 wraps depending on the size of the hook and the spacing. Oh. Got 8 on this time. Wrap them pretty evenly. It's a nice part of the rotary vise aspect of things. Bring that back, secure that in, cut off the excess. And wrap that in a little further, taper the head a little bit more. Otherwise than that, do want a whip finish on this fly. Pull down on that pretty good. Trim the thread. And the only other thing that I do to this fly is coat it in Sally Hansen's hard as wraps, hard as nails. Either way, they do the same thing. Really brings out the shine in this fly. I have not trimmed the brush down, so I gotta spend a little time getting rid of the excess fluid on here. And lightly coat the whole fly. It really makes it sparkle. Now, usually put the fly when it's done in a little piece of foam, let it dry and start another one. That's my sparkle midge. In its entirety, you can see it's pretty shiny at this point. Decent situation there. They've worked very well so far. Otherwise than that, that's a dry one. You can see the shine on it. It's pretty cool. Works out well. Good luck fishing.